Hi, this is Anna Imagination with a Healing Garden. Welcome to Pando. We are looking at the tiers. This is something that is one of those red herring over here, actual needs to be set over here to make sure your RAS is aligned with the right point. You're going to be hearing, make sure you're talking to the right demographic, make sure you're selling to the right person. Noise. This is what you need to hear. You need to make sure you're in the right tier. When you're in the right tier, the people will come to you. In all of my business building and all of my life, I have never heard anyone ever say this. This was something I discovered. It clicked and I went, oh, no one's been saying the right thing. And they sent me on a wild goose chase for 2 years. So this is me saving you that wild goose chase. This is what no one talks about. You are not going to make sales selling to the right person. No. You are going to get money and income and profits when you are in the right tier. So we're going to work with you on the tiers. I am going to pull out my whiteboard. So this is my whiteboard. And these are the tiers. Now, I don't know why businesses don't talk about this. And the only reason why I know about this is because I've studied the invisible economy. So we're going to talk about the invisible economy and what's really going on here. So this triangle represents all of the tiers. And this box represents the invisible economy. Now, there is a line. And the line is right about not here. The line is more like here, okay? And then we are going to do a little something here, and we're going to call this global economy. Now, you're not thinking about global economy most likely, and that's okay. We're just going to put this over here. Global economy goes on the outside, all right? What this is the invisible economy. And what you see your whole life is this. This is what you see. That's your visible economy. Now, you probably think that the President of the United States is the highest order of this is crap. No, it's not. The President of the United States is at the 4th level, and that's it. There's a whole world above him. He's owned by people. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. What we have here are all the different levels. And this is what poor people do not know. This is, by the way, power economics. That's what I'm teaching you right now. This is where you were raised most likely. Right here, patrons. Patrons. This is where you and your parents probably live, is at the bottom level under the patron area. This is tier 1. This is where it all begins. This is foundationals. Above that, you have business owners. And you're probably thinking, I want to be a business owner when I grow up, which is awesome. That is where you are, okay? And then above that one, you have another tier, which is where we put politicians. Yeah, politicians are more like over here. And then we have the CEOs and corporate. So this is probably what you think the world is. This is what the poor man sees. This is a lie. The invisible economy is actually this. And CEOs are usually all the way up here. And then there's business owners, large. There's small, medium, and large. And then there's pre-CEO. There you go. So this is more what it looks like, but we're not done yet. This is where we get into the philanthropists of the world. And this is where we get into billionaires. And this is where we get into celebrities. No celebrities, it depends. There you go. Now, the people who actually change the world are right here. Those are the people who change the world. Those are the people who do everything. Those are the people who build wars or peace. Like war and peace happens right here. War and peace. Really, that's what's going on. War and peace happen up here. There you go. So when you are building your business, you need to figure out which tier you are in. I'm up here. This is where I am. Most people are down here. I have been, and there's two sides to this. I'm going to show you this. This is really amusing to me. This cracks me up. I'm going to show you this. This is so funny to me. All right, ready? This is what it actually looks like. This is the narcissist side and the unethical side. And it's noisy over here. And this is the quiet. This is why you don't know about it. Invisible side. And to be honest with you, once you get to, I really want to say right about here is really where it starts to die down. Once you get to the very, very top, people learn to keep their mouth shut. You got to keep your mouth shut. So this is really what's going on. I have been all the way up here. I have been up here. And then I realized I climbed the wrong ladder and I had to climb, I climbed back down, climb back up. So now I'm on this side and I'm over here. So this is your unethical side. You have your unethical side, your ethical side. And your business people are going to be in the right tier for you. And if this is where your tier is, then great, you're fine. But if this is where your tier is, you are never going to make money. So if you are actually in this tier, but you are down here with the patrons, you're not going to make money. As soon as you find the right tier, oh my God, you're fine. Once you find the right people. Now, this is what we refer to as business to business. And most people think, I'm a business to business person. So they think, and this is abbreviated B2B, which was very confusing when I had my Brain to Books company, by the way, because we always abbreviated it B2B, and then we realized there's something out there called business to business, and it was very complicated. It's like, all right, so B2B versus B2B. So don't do that. Don't ever name your business Brain to Books. Don't ever do it, because I learned so much that time. So that's your B2B business owners, but all of these are B2B. All of these are. So this is what's going on. Now, the invisible economy is where rich people are. That's where rich people are. The poor people are down here. And this is the difference. Now there's an offshoot. Down here, these are your unethical. This is where they are the rich and unethical. And these are loud people. These are the ones that a lot of people like slander, and that's what we see a lot of because they're narcissists. They love that visibility, and because they're so loud, people are like, oh, they're loud. They're all over the place. That's why. So when you are on the ethical side, people are quiet, and you're going to learn real quick that oh, they're quiet. That's seventh ethic. Seventh ethic. That's why. That is exactly why. Now, the problem is, and this is where I have a big problem, this is where I personally get up and challenge that concept because that's not how people learn. If you want to move up in the world, you're going to need a mentor. And if the noisiest people are the narcissists who are looking to scam you, well, that's not good for you. So I am an ethical, loud person putting myself out there because psychologically, that's how we learn. So it's absolutely getting out there. And I speak for the voiceless. I am the voice of the voiceless. So this is understanding your tier is vital. It's absolutely vital. If you are on this tier with CEOs, then you stay on this tier. Then you stay on that tier. Now, this is where it gets funny because I'm a CEO. Like that's my brain. I'm a CEO. which means I'm going to be selling down to these guys. And that's it. That's where I teach. I am at 5 teaching down to 4. That's really important. Really important. Because if you're a tier 2, you got to be selling down to tier 1. But if you're a tier 4 and you're selling down to tier 1, you are not going to make sales because it's a completely different mindset. Completely different mindset. Now, I'm going to show you something because this is really where the ethics get cool. This is your first, second, third, and fourth ethic. These are what I call foundationals because they are at the foundation of a society. We require them. And then these are your 5th ethics. La 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 la. La 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 la. There you go. Now the 5th ethic can go all the way, it's fine. But up here, this is your 6th ethic plus. There you go. That's how it works. So you could be a 5th ethic and be anywhere here. No one who is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th goes up. No one. I'm sorry. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. If you have not hit 5th, you are not leaving the nursery. This is what I refer to as the nursery, by the way. When I say to people, we're in the nursery, that's what I refer to. This is where you learn how to life. How are we all doing with that? Where you learn how to life. This is where it's done. And if you don't pass this, you're not going to move up. That is the whole purpose. Now, you might be thinking things like, well, they haven't taught me well. You're right. That's why I built the societal plugin, is so these people can teach these people how to life so they can move up. That's why we have a societal gap. That's why we have a shrinking middle class, is because these guys aren't doing their jobs, which is why I have to be up here. Because if I'm here, that's not going to help anybody. I cannot teach on equal footing in a very unusual way. You have to teach down, which this 100% contradicts my entire ethical law, but it's you have to know more than the person you're teaching. We don't have 5-year-olds teaching 10-year-olds. So as a result, once you figure out what tier you are in, it changes the game entirely. And then you're in the right circle. So you have to figure out which tier you are in. And that is something we are going to be discussing at length to teach you how to assess which tier you are located in. So now I'm going to go ahead and export this file so I can pay attention to what I have to say. And that's it right there, bottom line, is when you are, okay, there you go. So that's it right there, is when you understand how the different tiers work and where you want to build your business for and from, who do you want to work with? And it's not a question of, do I want to work with mothers? Do I want to work with children? No, you need to be thinking, do you want to work with the foundationals? Do you want to work with cultivators? Do you want to work with visionaries? Do you want to work with pioneers? That's the question you need to be asking. Are you a pioneer teaching visionaries? It's a fun job. Are you a pioneer teaching cultivators? Are you a cultivator teaching foundationals? Are you a cultivator tier 2 teaching a cultivator tier 1? A lot of people are doing that, where they're a cultivator tier 1. I've been rounds with people on that, where I'm sitting here. It's really the most weirdest thing, logically. This is where I do not understand the human race, where there's a person A with a person B, and they attend each other's classes. And I'm going, why don't you just talk? And it's the blind leading the blind. So you don't want that. You do not want that. If you are attending your peers' classes, you need to either be having some coffee in a shop together, or you need to really sit back and decide who's qualified to be teaching you. You do not want the blind leading the blind. So when you start to understand the different tiers, that's when you find your tier and you click it. Now, if you're sitting here going, I don't know what my tier is, you have to go back and do some self-work. That's your first clue that you are not in the right order of operations. You are too far ahead in the entire process. This is it right here. is there are questions, and I'm going to be giving them to you. I'm going to be teaching you this, where if you are asking yourself questions, that's a red flag that you are too far advanced for where you are. That's like a fifth grader in senior high school going, I don't know why are you here? You need to go back to the fifth grader room. And that's a lot of what's going on is there's a lot of second graders and first graders in the senior high school going, I don't know. I don't understand. Why are you here? You should not be here. If you do not know, if you cannot go, oh, I'm in this tier. If you cannot answer that, you are too ahead. Which if you popped in to say hi, this is what's in your future. If you popped in to examine because you just blew through this all and you just want to get the, oh, great, excellent, actually phenomenal. You should be doing that. But if you're here because you think you're ready to be here and you're listening to this going, I have no idea what tier I am. I'm telling you, you are absolutely not ready for this. If you cannot right off the bat go, this is what tier I'm at. If you need me telling you that this is the tier, then you have mental work to do. Like this is a really solid clue that you are where you should be. Is when you don't need a teacher because you can just reverse engineer the stuff yourself. If you're not learning from your teacher because you already know stuff, then you're too far advanced in that subject. Then you need to find a better teacher. You need to find a teacher who knows more about this stuff. So if you're listening to what I'm saying and you get it and you're like, oh yeah, you're one of two things. Well, one of three things. The first thing is either you're going, oh, you got it. Or you figured it out intuitively, but you didn't understand the theory, in which case you're going, yeah, that's what I did. All right. Yeah. You're here for the theory. Yeah. You intuitively figured it out. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's right. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. You should be picking up on this intuitively. When you are ready, you will. But if you're not picking up on it intuitively, you're too far ahead. You need to go back to the beginning and go in the right order of operations. Now, if you are saying the stuff out of my mouth going, yeah, that's what I tell people. Why are you here? Dude, clearly you don't need me to be teaching you this shit. So that's how you learn. That's how you learn. I'm going to be saying that a lot because that is exactly how you figure out if the teacher is right or wrong. This is how you figure out if a teacher is good or bad, is when they tell you this shit. Because this is how you figure out so you can assess the teacher. I'm going to do a course where I teach you how to assess a teacher. That way you can judge me. And that'll be fun. Oh my God, it'll be so much fun. Yes, I'm going to teach you how to judge me. That's exactly what you need. Yes. And that way, when you are going through these courses, you can be, this is the checklist. This is the checklist where you go, okay, I'm not at all picking up on any of this. I did not pick, you are too far ahead. You need to go back. You need to find the space where you are like, if I am not opening your intuition to have epiphany after epiphany, you're too far ahead. Right where you need to be is when you get epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. If you're confused, you're too far ahead. If you are bored, then I'm over teaching you and you need to go find, you're actually needing to go further ahead. If I am just giving you the words for something you already know intuitively, that's because you tradesmaned your stuff, which is good. You traded your stuff at tradesman. Tradesman stage is when you intuitively feel it, but you're not the master to articulate it. Masters can articulate it. The fact that I'm sitting here explaining all this to you, I'm a master. So either you are a master with me and you already have the words coming out of your mouth, or you used intuition to figure this out. If you used your intuition to figure this out, it's because you're a tradesman. You became so proficient at it that you just trusted your gut. That's tradesman. The master can reverse engineer the intuition and articulate it into a class and say, here, this is the nugget of truth that you need. Now you're talking about a master. So once you understand and you use this as a metric, this is how you are supposed to use this as a metric. So you can figure out if the teacher is good, bad, too far advanced for you, or you're needing to go to a previous class. All learning is prerequisitional. So if you are unable to ask the question, I have no idea what tier I am, it's because you're not ready. It means you need to go all the way back to the beginning and follow the right order of operations. The right order of operations is the learning journey of the discovered self and triadic healing part 1, triadic healing light. After that, you go on to the cultivator triadic healing part 2, which is build your business. And that's also with networking. That's where you connect everything and you get your network all built up. And then you you become a visionary and you propel your dreams forward into your clan, and you connect the world and you just drive everything forward and you just nurture everything that you've built. That's what you're doing at the third, at Try to Healing Part 3. Try to Healing Part 4 is my philosophy. That's where you go when you've done all of this and you just want to dive deep into the meaning of life because you're on your pilgrimage. That's something else we do. So those are your tiers. Figure out which one is yours. We're going to be walking over how to figure out which tier is yours, but in the right order of operations. When you are ready, you need to go through the checklist and make sure you knock off all the things individually, one by one. If there is something you need help with, any questions at all, please ask me. Go to the workshops on Thursdays, ask the questions. That way I can go, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a lesson for you and plug it right in. That way everyone else has it. That's exactly what the plan is. So ask me questions as they come up. Thank you so much. May the kindest of words always find you.